Hello beautiful people, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Helena, and as you can tell I have a massive Amazon book haul. Now before we get into the haul, I just want to say a couple of things. If you haven't watched my previous video, I said that I got back into reading in November of last year. I don't really own any physical books, just a few self-help books that I've had over the years. And when I got back into reading, started with the Kindle, I just say I wanna have a little library, and I want to start a booktube channel, and I wanna and I want to get like physical copies of books, because my mom used to have physical copies of her books like growing up. And the thing is, we don't have a Barnes and Noble here. We don't have much bookstores here in the Bahamas. We do have bookstores, but they're like independent bookstores, and obviously the prices are higher because the books have to get imported into the country. But I will still go and support the bookstore. But I think I do have one here that came from the bookstore, but majority is an Amazon book haul. And I'm gonna be like a booktuber who basically started with no physical books, and I want to build up my little library and be able to display it. Now some of the books I did get, I've read them already, but because I love them so much, I wanted to get them to reread them. And yeah, so let's get into the book haul. Alright guys, I took all the books out of the boxes as I was starting to stack them. Some were falling, so like it was a lot. But anyway, I just love my books. Anyway, I guess let's get into it. Let me push this back a little bit, just so that I guess after I show you guys, I can like place them right there. So this one is the only one that's not from Amazon, and this is the book that I got from the bookstore. So the first book is The Woods by Harlan Coben. And it says, County Prosecutor Paul Copeland is still getting over the decades-old disappearance of his sister. 20 years ago, she walked into the woods with her boyfriend, and neither of them were ever seen again. As Cope struggles to raise his 6-year-old daughter alone while trying one of the biggest cases of his career, evidence links him to a man who has been viciously murdered. It's possible the victim is the boy who disappeared with Cope's sister all those years ago. But as hope rises that she could still be alive, dangerous secrets from his family past threaten to tear them apart, to tear apart everything he's been trying to hold together. And this sounded very interesting, and it's also have coming to Netflix. So I was like, you know what, let me just pick this one up. Okay, so like I said, that's from my bookstore here, and now let's get into the Amazon. Now I thought that for the first set of books it's only right, even though I already read them, to get the 2 books that got me back into reading. And that was Colleen Hoover, It Ends With Us, which, as you guys know, is a movie now, and it starts with us. The first set of books I got. Now, these are my babies. My babies. And I think before I even turn them around, you guys, I probably know what they are. It's my babies. Now, before... The thing is, with this series, I was never a fantasy girl. I wouldn't say never, but I don't really like sci-fi movies. I like more realistic stuff. But my coworker, she's like, oh, you have to read this, I loved it. And I was like, I don't like things like that. I got the first book, which was, and I got it on my Kindle, which was A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I couldn't really get into it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it on Audible, and the audiobook, it dragged me in, and like I ate it up. Now the thing is, I haven't finished the last book. I have the audiobook for it. I haven't finished. I think I'm like halfway through, and it's like I don't want to finish it because I don't want it to end. And I don't know if I've ever experienced that, but like I don't want it to end, like especially because there's like you don't know when the next book is coming out, and I don't know. I love this series so much. Like, listen, this caused me to like get into fantasy, like and give fantasy a try. So I will sprinkle fantasy in here, and so I really love this series. Like I said, I listened to it on Audible, but I am. That's why I got it too. I want to sit down and read the physical copies, and they are thick, but listen, I love them. I love it. And like, oh. Then we have Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. Now I got Same Time Next Summer from Book Outlet, which will be in my previous video, and I read that and loved it. I read it in probably like less than a day and a half, like a day and a quarter, and I loved it. I ate it up. And so I saw a lot of people talking about this in the summer. Now, for a lot of people are over, but living in the Bahamas is summer all year round. So you could always read a summer book, and you'll always be in the summer feels because it doesn't get cold. We don't really have winter. So I said, because I know that I love that book a lot, that I'll try this one. Let me just read a little bit of the synopsis. Ali Morris is a professional organizer whose own life is a mess. Her mom died 2 years ago, then her husband left, and she hasn't worn pants with a zip in longer than she cares to remember. No one is more surprised than Ali when the first time she takes off her wedding ring and puts on pants with hardware overalls count right, she meets someone. Or rather, her dog claims a man for her by peeing on him. Ethan smiles at Ali like her pants are just right, like he likes what he sees. He looks at her like she's a younger, braver version of herself. The last thing newly single mom Ali needs is to make her life messier. But there's no harm in a little summer romance, is there? Sounds interesting. I know a lot of people said good things about it. Okay. This is a next series that my co-worker told me to read. She told me to read The Cruel Prince. And for some reason, you're going to see in this haul that when I buy the first book, I bought the second book. Because I feel like if I like it, I won't have the next one right there. But this is The Cruel Prince, which I think a lot of people have heard about. And this is the second book. This is the first book, and the second book is The Wicked King. And this is by Holly Black. And I think that this is there's a third book. Let me see. Yeah, The Queen of Nothing. So I got those two. And let me read the synopsis on the first book. Jude was 7 when her parents were murdered, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen away to live in the treacherous high court of Fairy. 10 years later, Jude wants nothing more than to belong there. But many of the Fae despise humans, especially Prince Carden, the youngest and wickedest son of the High King. To win a place at the court, Jude must defy him and face the consequences. And a lot of people, I've seen people talk about this series. A next series, which I got the first and second books for, is the Magnolia Park series by Jessa Hastings. The first and second book, Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates. And I'm sure you guys have heard about this because it's talked about a lot. They say it's something like Gossip Girl. I don't think I've really watched Gossip Girl. I don't think so, but Shaughnessy here on YouTube, she recommended it's like one of her favorite series, so I said I'll give it a try. Then, obviously, because of ACOTAR, I had to I said, okay, this one don't sound as interesting as ACOTAR, but you know what, let me give it a chance. It's a longer series. So I got Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas and Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas, which is the first and second book in the series. And I think it's about an assassin. Yeah, it's about an assassin and basically a king who is taking over the continent and stuff like that. And so I was like, you know, I'll try it out. Because I loved ACOTAR so much, I'll try it out. Oh, the stock is already getting high. Okay, then we have in the next series Butcher and Blackbird, which is the first book, and Leonard and Lark, which is the second book, and these are by Brian Weaver, and this is a duology. No, there's a third book coming. Yeah, there's a third book, and it's just about serial killers who fall in love, and I think that they kill other serial killers. I guess they're almost like I don't know, but 2 serial killers who fall in love, and they kill other serial killers. And I love the covers, they're so pretty. And this is almost like my favorite color, so. Ooh. Then we have the queen herself, Abby Jimenez. Now the thing is, everybody was raving about the Just for the Summer, and I read Part of Your World and Yours Truly on my Kindle and love them. Her writing is so easy, like eat it up. I loved it. And I picked up Just for the Summer, which I also read and loved it. Like you have to love a book if you already read it and you didn't have a physical copy, and then you go and buy a physical copy. And I love them. I talked to my mom about them. I told her I think she should read them, and because she usually just like a Danielle Steele. Danielle Steele is her favorite author, and so she just said she need to get into like different authors and genres and stuff. And I told her like I love Abby. Like I think anything Abby writes, I'm gonna buy. Anything she writes, I'm gonna buy. Okay, let's start a new pile. Then we have the next queen. Now, this is Emily Henry. This is Happy Place by Emily Henry. Beach Read by Emily Henry. And Funny Story. I got Book Lovers from Emily Henry in my book outlet haul, which is the haul right before this. And I see a lot of people talk about her books as well when they talk about Abby Jimenez. I read Happy Place. It was really good, and you know, I can't wait to get into the rest of her books. This is the only one I've read by her. Okay. Then you have My Dark Vanessa, and this was recommended. I see Shaughnessy posted up. This was like a really good book. She said it was a really good book, and it's basically about a girl who got almost like groomed by her teacher, and she, at the age that she felt like, you know, it was love. And they have like dual timelines where it was then when she was a student to like now being an adult, and just finding out that they're basically, well, I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, so he is accused of having sexual abuse against students. Then we have Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, and I've heard a lot of people talk about this book, like, you know, and I think it's so cute. This isn't the original cover, this isn't the first cover, but I think this is so cute. It's so cute. It says, just in case you haven't heard about it, Wynn McNulty has always been wildly independent and not one to be coddled for her limb difference. Wynn has spent most of her life trying to prove that she can do it all on her own. With some minor adjustments, she's done fine. Hooking up at a costume party with the incredible charming Beau changes everything. Wynn finds herself pregnant and decides to keep the baby, while Beau is surprisingly elated to step up to the plate. Wynn is unsure whether she can handle this new challenge. Like, this is so cute. I can't wait to read this. I heard a lot of good things about this. Then we have Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. And this is so pretty. So pretty. It says, he puts his hand against my chest. It's still beating. He whispers his words, a soft kiss on my lips. As long as it's beating, you're okay. When Cora Lawson attends her sister's birthday party, she expects at most a hangover or a walk of shame by the end of it. She doesn't anticipate a stolen wallet, leaving her stranded and dependent on her sister's fiancé, Dean Asher, her arch nemesis and perpetual thorn in her side. And she really doesn't anticipate getting knocked out and waking up chained in a madman's basement. Dean in his own shackles beside her. I won't read like the whole synopsis, but like, this is really pretty and it sounds really interesting. Then I have Not About a Boy, and I got this recommendation from Shaughnessy right here on YouTube. And I think this just came out, and this is the author's debut. It's by Maya Hollis. Really pretty cover. And it just says, she thought she found happiness once in a love that ended in tragedy and nearly sent her over the edge. Now at 17, Mel is beginning to piece her life back together. Under the supervision of Laurel Child Services, the exclusive foster care agency that raised her, Mel is sober and living with a new family among Manhattan's elite. It's her last chance at adoption before she ages out of the system, and she promised this time she'll try. But a casual relationship with a boy is turned into something she never intended for it to be, causing small cracks in her carefully constructed walls. Then the sister she has no memory of contacts Mel, unearthing complicated feelings about the past and what could have been. So it sounds really interesting, and it seems like a very, touchy book. And just looking at it, it's so beautiful. I'm sorry if you can hear all the noise going on outside. Then we have Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Remember, it's only a game, and this is a really pretty a really pretty cover also. And it just says, Scarlett Dragner has never left the tiny island where she and her sister Tella live with their powerful and cruel father. Now Scarlett's father has arranged a marriage for her, and Scarlett thinks her dreams of seeing Caraval, the faraway once-a-year performance where the audience participates in the show, are over. But this year, Scarlett's long dreamt of invitation finally arrives with the help of a mysterious sailor. Tella whisks Scarlett away to the show. Only as soon as they arrive, Tella is kidnapped by Caraval's mastermind organizer, Legend. It turns out that this season's Caraval revolves around Tella, and whoever finds her first is the winner. This seems very different, but I've heard a little bit about it, and I said, you know what, I'll try it out. As you can see, I got a lot of books from different genres and different fields, because I just want to rediscover what I really into. Then I got Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. I've read one book by her. I think that was None of This Is True or something like that. Ellie Mack was the perfect daughter, and then she was gone. 10 years after Ellie's disappearance, her mother, Laurel Mack, is trying to put her life back together when she meets an unexpectedly charming man in a cafe. Before she knows it, she's meeting Floyd's daughters, and his youngest, Poppy, take Laurel's breath away, because the early, precocious Poppy is the splitting image of Ellie. So I say, okay, that's all I had to realize, okay, this sounds very interesting. So I picked it up, and like I said, this is Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. This is very pretty cover also. Then I got Carrie Soto Is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I heard a lot of things about this book, and it's about a soccer player and basically her retiring and coming back, something like that. I sure y'all heard about Taylor Jenkins Reid. Carrie Soto Is Back. I read one book by her, and I think I just got a next book by her. I like her writing. I got a next book by her in my previous haul from Book Outlet, but I read a next book by her, but for some reason I keep forgetting the title. I have to look that up, but that's that. Then I got Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I've never read anything by her. The cover is cute, and I said, I'll give it a try. And it says, Forbes may have labeled Ford Grant the world's hottest billionaire, but all he cares about is escaping the press and opening a recording studio in a gorgeous small town, Rose Hill. Something that comes to a screeching halt when he ends up face to face with a young girl who claims he is her biological father. Now he spends his days balancing business with parenting a sullen 12-year-old, all while trying desperately to keep his hands the hell off his best friend's sister, Rosie Belmont. Sounds really good. And I think the second book, it's a series, I think the second book just came out, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's called Wild Eyes. Haven't read this yet, but I'm going to give it a try. Then I've heard, from my first start watching BookTube, I've heard a lot of people talk about this Dreamland Billionaire series. I haven't read anything about it. I haven't read anything from the series or by this author, Lauren Asher. The Fine Print. This is the first book in the series, and it just says it's obviously a dual POV because it has Rowan and Zara. But I think from what I remember, it's a guy, a main character. He has to do something to get his grandfather's or father's inheritance, and I think he falls for meets a girl that end up working for him or something like that. Ooh, they rocking. Let's push these back a little bit. I hope I can get these other books with all the way in the back there. Then we have a next one, A Love Like the Sun by Rhys M. Nielsen. Very pretty. This is so beautiful. And you have like a little quote by Emily up here, and it says, raw, vulnerable, breath-stealing love. It says, just for one summer. Lanaya Thompson is a homebody who craves privacy. Isaac Jordan is internet famous and spends his days followed by paparazzi. She runs a small business with her mom in her hometown. He runs an international brand, and they've been best friends since childhood. When Isaac comes home to Providence for the first time in months and discovers Lanaya's dream is slipping out of reach as she and her mom struggle to pay the bills at Wildly Green, their natural hair store, she refuses to take a dime from him, and so he does what any self-respecting best friend would do, tells the world they're dating. And there's more, but I'm going to stop right there. And that sounds very interesting. I guess he's going to try and help her. But his fame, like, to get the customers to come in so that they could, you know, start to make more money so they don't have to close down. This is really pretty. Okay, moving right along. Then we have The Mixtape by Brittany Cherry, which is a Black author. Heard a lot about her books and her writing. It says, 2 songs, same melody. Emery has never felt more alone. Raising her daughter is both her pleasure and her pain as she struggles to hold on to a job as a bartender and keep a roof over their heads. With no one to help them, no support system, any unexpected expense or late bill could turn their world upside down. Reeling from the death of his twin brother and bandmate, rock star Olivia Smith is trying to drink his problems away. Apparently he isn't very good at it. They follow him wherever he goes. Also in hot pursuit are the paparazzi who catch Oliver at his lowest low. Alright, that's all I'm going to read. The Mixtape. It sounds really interesting. And like I said, it's by a Black author. And I like to get books by Black authors and have Black characters, just because like it's very relatable, and like it gives like culture. It sounds familiar. Then we have The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. And this is really cute. And obviously with the dog tags in the sun, it's like a military. So it says, it's like a letter written to a friend. I don't know if I'm going to read the whole thing, but it says, Beckett, if you're reading this, well, you know the last letter drill. You made it. I didn't. Get off the guilt train, because I know if there was any chance you could have saved me, you would have. I need one thing from you. Get out of the army and get to Telluride? I hope I'm saying that right. My little sister Ella's raising the twins alone. She's too independent and won't accept help easily, but she has lost our grandmother, our parents, and now me. It's too much for anyone to endure. It's not fair. And here's the kicker. There's something else you don't know that's tearing her family apart. She's going to need help. So if I'm gone, that means I can't be there for Ella. I can't help them do this, but you can. So I'm begging you as my best friend. Go take care of my sister, my family. Please don't make her go through it alone. Ryan. And this sounds like it's gonna be sad. But a really pretty cover, and I don't think I've read anything by Rebecca Yarros, so I hope I'm saying that right too. I wanna like give this a try. These stocks getting so huge. Okay, then we have One Summer in Savannah by Tara Shelton Harris. Also a Black author. Can you ever truly forgive if you can't forget? It's been 8 years since Sarah Lancaster left her home in Savannah, Georgia. 8 years since her daughter Alana came into this world. Following a terrifying assault that left deep emotional wounds, Sarah would do anything to forget. But when Sarah's father falls ill, she's forced to return home and face the ghosts of her past. While caring for her father and running his bookstore, Sarah is desperate to protect her curious, outgoing, genius daughter from the Weilers, the family of the man who assaulted her. Sarah thinks she can't succeed. her attackers in prison. His identical twin brother Jacob left town years ago, and they and their mother are all unaware Alana exists. But she soon learns that Jacob has also just returned to Savannah to piece together the fragments of his once great family. And when their two worlds collide, with the type of force Sarah explores in her poetry and Jacob in his astrophysics, they are drawn together in unexpected ways. This sounds very interesting. I have never read anything by this author, but from the synopsis, I want to give it a try. I think we had to start a new stock. Wow. Then we have 2 books in the Love in Beverly Hills series. The first book is Love You Always by Lauren Lacey and Love You Finally by Lauren Lacey. And I got these recommendations from Shaughnessy right here on YouTube, and she said that she really loves like this series. It doesn't have this cover. She has like, I think the cover is like pink and purple, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't have the cover with the people on it, but this is the cover that they have now. And I also think she said that she had to look very hard for like the original covers without the people on it. But I like the people. They're pretty. And also this is by Lauren Lacey's a Black author. So for Love You Finally, which is the first book, Love You Always, which is the first book, is love you always doesn't mean to love you forever. It means to love you in spite of. This is the type of love Parker Whalen and Jackson Sands have for one another. Their lives have been intertwined since childhood, but despite heartbreaks and struggles, their bond still remains. After years of separation, Jackson and Parker return home to Beverly Hills and try to give their relationship one last shot. Will they decide to move forward together or apart? And it says it's a spicy and emotional, compelling second chance romance novel between 2 childhood sweethearts. And it isn't always pretty and lighthearted, but it does showcase love's ability to sustain us through loss, tragedy, and trauma. And then for Love You Finally, it says, stifled by insecurities stemming from being a Black girl adopted into a white family, Avery Whalen is seemingly strong, but certainly stubborn woman who always felt she wasn't quite good enough. She's surrounded by people who love her, but there isn't enough love in the world that could fill the void of wanting to be loved by her birth mother. Yet Avery's best friend, Deacon Owens, has always loved her, even when she didn't love herself. Avery and Deacon's journey from best friends to lovers is at times tumultuous, frustrating, and even traumatic. However, Deacon is committed to supporting Avery no matter what. This is spicy, heavy, and emotionally compelling love story showcases the bond between best friends who decide to walk different paths in life, but always seem to meet again at their most pivotal moment in time. This just sounds so deep. I'm saying that these girls seem so beautiful, and I can't wait to get into it. I think there's a 3rd book, and I'm definitely going to get it. I mean, I haven't read anything by this author, but like, I just love it how it sounds. And so, like I said, okay, so then we got a next book that was a recommendation from Shaughnessy, which was Demon's Dream, An Unexpected Love by Ellie Kaysen. And obviously, as you can tell, it's an urban book. And this one is thick. This is giving like Akata thick. But she said it was really good, and when I started to I read a sample of it, and it seemed really good. Demon, Montana. Clawing my way from the depths of hell to haunt the nightmares and steal the lives of many, I earned the name Demon. Hardened by a life that no one should live, I had rules that governed my existence. No caring, no intimacy, no love. And then I saw her, Dream. Beautiful, brave, bold, and for 30 days she was mine. I would follow my rules, have her body, ignore her heart. Then she looked at me like she knew me, like she saw me, like she loved me, and I knew 30 days weren't nearly enough. And this is from Dream Castle. Brilliant and badass, I was my family's fixer. I was the queen of negotiating and smoothing ruffled feathers. I had never met a situation I couldn't talk us out of until my brother crossed the wrong family and they would accept only one payment for that debt. Me. and it has more, but like, you know, this is thick, but you know, I can't wait to get into it. Like, and I think she really enjoyed this book too. So then I have The Only One Left by Riley Sager. And yo, when I get this book, I was like, why is this book so small? Because this book don't look this small in these videos. Like, I know it's a paperback, but it just does not look this small. But anyhow, this is by Riley Sager, and let me read the back, even though you probably have heard about it before. It says, a heart-pounding gothic thriller from the master of suspense. Everyone believes that Lenora Hope is a mass murderer. When the Hope family was massacred decades ago, she was the only one left alive after that tragic night. Mute, paralyzed, and confined to a wheelchair, Lenora has never been able to tell her side of the story. Until her new living caregiver, Kit, brings her a typewriter. And with one working finger, Lenora begins to type, I want to tell you everything. And baby, that's all I needed. Like, this sound like, okay, ooh, like, I really want to know what's going on. So I'm really looking forward to getting to this. Let's put this one up here because it's a little tiny. Then I have the Mindfuck series, and this is by St. Abbey, and this is 5 books into one. I've heard a few people talk about it and say that it's very good, and there's like short books that are like probably 100 something pages. Like, each book is like about 100 something pages, which makes it kind of thick. But just think about it, 5 books in one is really, it's not that big. And let me read the back of it just in case you haven't heard about it before. And it says, monsters can come in many forms. They took too much, left too little. I had nothing to lose until him. I didn't expect him. I didn't want to fall in love, but I can't let him go. Logan Bent makes the world a safer place. He's brilliant. He's a hero. He locks away the sick and depraved. But while he's saving lives, I'm taking them, collecting the debts that are owed to me. 10 years ago, they took from me. They left me for dead. They should have made sure I stayed dead. Now I'm taking from them, one name at a time. I've trained for too long. I've been patient. I can't stop now. Revenge is best served cold. They never see me coming until I paint their walls red. Logan doesn't know how they hurt me. He doesn't know about the screams they ignored. He doesn't know how twisted that town really is. He just knows people are dying. He doesn't know he's in love with their killer. No one suspects a dead girl. And Logan doesn't suspect the girl in his bed. They're looking for a monster, not a girl who loves red, not a girl in love. I'm a faceless nightmare. At least until I tell them the story they pretended never happened. But in the end, will Logan choose them, or will we watch them burn together? Romance with a stabby twist. That sounds so like a lot going on, and I can't wait to get into this. Then we have a box set, which is the Good Girl's Guide to Murder. The Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and there's the first, second, and third book. The first book, which is The Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, and I'm sure everybody's heard about it, but just in case, this is the story of an investigation turned obsession. Pretty and popular high school senior Andy Bell was murdered by her boyfriend Sal Singh, who then killed himself. It was all anyone could talk about. And 5 years later, Pip sees how tragedy still haunts her town. So she tries to solve the murder of the girl. And it is, if you didn't know, it's on Netflix, and it is a series. This is the first book in the series. And then we have Good Girl, Bad Blood, which is the second book in the series. And then we have As Good as Dead, the third book in the series. And like I said, this is the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. So that's that. And I read the Good Girl's Guide to Murder on my Kindle before, like, I didn't even know it was becoming a series. Okay, let's bring some of these down, because this just feel like a lot going on. Okay, now we have Kennedy Ryan, and I have 3 books by her. 2 is of a series, so let me start with this one because I got the first book, which is Before I Let Go, and this is a black author. Before I Let Go, and it's in my previous video from Book Outlet, and this is the second book in that series, and it's called This Could Be Us. And I sure you've heard a lot about this series, the Before I Let Go and This Could Be Us. Like I said in that previous video, I've only read The Real by her, but I really enjoyed it, and I heard a lot of people talking about this series, and I wanted to grab it. Like I said, I already have the first book, and this is the second book in the series. I also got her next series, which is start off with Long Shot and Block Shot, which is like the Hoop series, if I'm not mistaken. The back right say she kissed the prince and he turned into a fraud, and now her fairy tale is upside down. Iris Dupree meets August West in a sports bar during her last semester of college. It's the conversation of a lifetime and sends sparks flying in every direction. The connection is undeniable, but the timing is all wrong. August is poised for the NBA draft, and Iris belongs to another man, basketball's golden boy and August's longtime rival. The two go their separate ways, but they often recall that electric night and what could have been. While August has embarked on his all-star life studded with wealth and fame, Iris's perfect public relationship has become a nightmare behind closed doors, a tarnished dream of fool's gold. That's Long Shot. And then you have Block Shot. I think she does, if I'm not mistaken, get like a lot of backlash for it, because like I would say backlash, but it's just a very intense, like it does have content ones that talk about domestic violence, and it's not like it's being praised about. I mean, I haven't read it, but it's not like it's being praised about, but it's good to be aware about it. The Way He Wants Her, No Limits. If Jared Foster had $1 for every time Barnum Morales made his heart skip a beat, the heart everyone assumes is frozen over, he'd be richer than he already is. He's found success as a sports agent by always assuming no means I'll think about it. And he knows Barn is thinking about him. Her shimmering anger, the way she puts him in his place. Foreplay. She thinks she wants the game, but they're just getting started. But like I said, I have only read 1 book by her, but I like her writing. I will definitely get the next book in the series, which I think is Hookshot. Yeah, and I can't wait. I can't wait to get back into her writing. Now we have Before She Disappeared by Lisa Gardner. And it says, a recovering alcoholic with more regrets than belongings, Frankie Elkin has devoted her life to doing what no one else will. Searching for the lost and forgotten. When the police have moved on, when the public no longer remembers, when the media has never paid attention, Frankie starts looking. A new case brings her to Mattapan, a Boston neighborhood with a rough reputation. She is searching for Angelique Badeo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. A Haitian teenager who vanished from her high school months earlier. Resistance from the Boston PD and the victim's wary family tells Frankie she's on her own, and she soon learns she's asking questions someone doesn't want answered. But Frankie will stop at nothing to discover the truth, even if it means the next person to go missing could be her. And this sounds very interesting. And I can't wait. I can't wait to get into it. I can't wait. And then we have Fast by Millie Belazar. And it says, after the untimely death of her mother, Caprice Lattimore has to move in with her grandmother. At 8 years old, life as she knows it is turned upside down. The trauma of losing her mother is made worse with the introduction of Marcel, her grandmother's adult son who still lives in the home. Fast is a standalone that spans 20 years, separated into 3 acts. We watch Caprice grow from 8 years old to 16 years old to 28 years old. She gets hurt, she falls in love, she grows, and she just might overcome. And it sounds really good. And she honestly always raves about this book. And I think, does it have trigger warnings? No. But sounds like a very deep book, and I can't wait to get into it. Okay, and then we have Luca by Gray Huffington, and Lyric by Gray Huffington. This is the first book in the series, and then this is the second book in the series. Luca and Lyric. And for Luca, it says she's an angel and she doesn't mind dancing with a demon. That's why I'd move mountains, dry seas, and hydrate the desert if it made her happy. She brought goodness to the world. It was only right that I made it hers, along with the two tiny beauties that shared her hazel eyes and perfect smile. For them, I'd do whatever. For them, I'd become whoever. Ever, he's a protector, and a far cry from the menace they've labeled him. He's just misunderstood. That's why I climbed the highest mountain, crossed the widest seas, and conquered the desert, ever brought us closer together. He brought so much wholesomeness to the world. It was only right that I made him a part of mine, along with my two minis that shared my story and sentiments. Because of him, we had found happiness. Because of him, we had found home. And it's the Eisenberg Effect, book 1. And this is the book 2. It says Lyric. She is a gem, and on an entirely different level than the woman I'm accustomed to. She's loyal and about her paper. That's why I sacrificed the only friendship I'd ever known. Wait for however long it took her to be ready, and happily sever tears with anyone who didn't agree with or was against our union. Because the little spoiled brat that I once considered off limits had given me a taste of her forbidden fruit. And there was nothing I'd stop at to maintain the privilege of burying my seeds in her garden. That sounds deep. Lyric. He's a friend and doesn't mind risking it all for me. The truth is, I just can't get enough of him. From his jet black skin to his uncompromising addictive smile, he has me in a chokehold. However, our union isn't as simple as we wish it was. That's why I can't see myself breaking my brother's hearts, destroying our family's dynamic, or disappointing the man that means the most to me to be with him. I'd already caused him enough pain and suffering for the sake of love. I couldn't bring myself to do it again. It sounds deep. It sounds giving culture. It sounds like I can't wait. I can't wait. I mean, I know I can't wait for a lot of these books, but you know. And then we have 2 books by Tracy Brown. The first one being Brooklyn. I have read a book by Tracy Brown before, which was in my previous haul from Book Outlet, named Hold You Down, and I loved it. Like, it just the way they spoke, it was just giving culture, it was giving relatable, and I was like, you know, I gotta pick up more books from her. She is a black author. So this one's called Brooklyn. I love the cover. And it says, Brooklyn Melody James has finally gotten the punishment she deserves after leaving a web of lies, heartache, and betrayal behind her. As her life slips away, Brooklyn remembers the events that shaped her into the cold, calculating creature she became. Brooklyn learned the art of hustling from her parents who used the church to get money, idolizing her father and despising her mother. Brooklyn is determined to be the type of woman who makes her own rules. There's more, but I won't read the whole thing. So, I want to leave it, but it sounds really good. Then you have Single Black Female, and it says, Ivy Donovan is a successful stylist, an entrepreneur, and single mom who has been loyal to her son's father, Michael, as he serves a lengthy prison sentence, but life has gotten lonely over the years, and Ivy wants more for herself. Michael, however, isn't about to lose his family, and these 2 sound really good and can't wait to read them. Okay, let's continue on with the haul. Okay, so these next 3 books is by the same author. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I've read a book by her, and her name is Tiffany D. Jackson, which was allegedly, and it was really good. I liked it. She's a black author, and they even have it on the back here. Prayers for allegedly. So this is Monday Is Not Coming. Oh gee. Monday Is Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. And it says, this is the story of how my best friend disappeared, how nobody noticed she was gone except me, and how nobody cared until they found her 1 year later. Monday Childs is missing, and only Claudia seems to notice. Claudia and Monday have always been inseparable, more sisters than friends. So when Monday doesn't turn up for the first day of school, Claudia starts to worry. When she doesn't show for the second day or the second week, Claudia knows that something is wrong. Monday wouldn't just leave her to endure tests and bullies alone. With her grades on the line, Claudia needs her best and only friend now more than ever. But Monday's mother refuses to give Claudia a straight answer, and Monday's sister April is even less help. So, this seems very interesting. Like I said, I read a book by her before called Allegedly, and I really liked it. This one I got was The Weight of Blood. And like I said, it's by Tiffany D. Jackson. When Springville residents, at least the ones still alive, are questioned about what happened on prom night, they all have the same explanation. Maddie did it. Outcast Madison Washington has always been a target for bullies, and she's dealt with it. Until a surprise rainstorm reveals her most closely kept secret. Maddie is biracial and has been passing for white her entire life at the behest of her fanatical white father. After a viral bullying video pulls back the curtains on Springville High's racist roots, student leaders devise a plan to change their image, host the school's first integrated prom. The popular white class president convinces her black superstar quarterback boyfriend to ask Maddie to be his date, but some of her classmates aren't done with her just yet. Little do they know, Maddie still has another secret, one that will cost them all their lives. Really interesting, and a very interesting cover. Then we have Let Me Hear a Rhyme, and it says, Brooklyn 1998. Biggie Smalls was right, things don't change, but that doesn't mean that Quadera and Jarrell are cool letting their best friend Steph's music lie forgotten under his bed after he is murdered. Not when his rhymes could turn any bed stewy corner into a party. With the help of Steph's younger sister Jasmine, they come up with a plan to promote Steph's music under a new rap name, The Architect. Soon everyone wants a piece of him. When his demo catches the attention of a hot-headed music label rep, the trio must race to prove Steph's talent from beyond the grave before their secret catches up with them. This sounds very interesting and it's a very beautiful cover. Next I have The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and this is a historical fiction. I've never read historical fiction before, but I've heard people rave about this book. A next book by her, The Women and The Four Winds, and she has a lot of books, but I say no, I'm going to give her a try and also give this genre a try. So it just says with courage, grace, and powerful insight, best-selling author Kristen Hanna captures the epic paranormal of World War II and illuminates an intimate part of history seldom seen, the Women's War. Nightingale tells the stories of two sisters separated by years and experienced by ideals, passion, and circumstance, each embarking on her own dangerous path toward survival, love, and freedom in German-occupied, war-torn France. Heartbreakingly beautiful novel that celebrates the resilience of the human spirit and the durability of women. It is a novel for everyone, a novel for a lifetime, and I can't wait to get into this to see if there's something that I'd really be interested in. Next we have Their Vicious Games by Joelle Wellington, and this is a really beautiful cover, also by a black author. And it says, you must work twice as hard to get half as much. Adina Walker has known this the entire time she's been on scholarship at the prestigious Edgewater Academy, a school for the uber-rich and mostly white New England upper class. It's why she works so hard to be perfect above reproach, no matter what she has to force under the surface. Even one slip can cost her everything. And it's a lot more, but I won't read the whole thing. But the book is like this cover is beautiful. It's really nice. Then we have Powerless. I'm sure everybody's heard about Powerless, and like I've told you before, I'm not a big fantasy girl, but I heard a lot of people say this is like the Hunger Games. I don't even think I ever watched the Hunger Games. I can't remember. I don't think so. But you know, I really want to get into it and see if I like it, and then if I do, I'll pick up the rest of the books. The rest of the books in the series. Then we have The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson, which is the same author that wrote A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And also I got a next book by her in my book outlet haul called Five Survive, and I'm very interested to see what's this gonna be. And it says Lights Camera Lies. 18-year-old Belle has lived her whole life in the shadow of her mom's mysterious disappearance. 16 years ago, Rachel Price vanished and young Belle was the only witness, but she has no memory of it. Rachel is gone, long presumed dead, and Belle wishes everyone would just move on. But the case is dried up from the past when the Price family agrees to a true crime documentary. Belle can't wait for filming to end, for life to go back to normal, and then the impossible happens. Rachel Price reappears and life will never be normal again. Like, this sounds like a lot, and I really can't wait to read it. Coming down, then we have Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Cavanagh. I hope I'm sorry I'm messing the name up. Really nice cover. Really nice. And it says, she will kill your worst enemy. All you have to do is kill hers. One dark evening on New York City's Upper West Side, two strangers meet by chance. Over drinks, Amanda and Wendy realize they have much in common, especially loneliness and an intense desire for revenge against the men who destroyed their families. As they talk into the night, they come up with the perfect plan. If you kill for me, I'll kill for you. There's more, but I won't read it. Sounds really good, and I can't wait to get into it. Then we have The Golden Couple by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. And it says, wealthy Washington suburbanites Marissa and Matthew Bishop seem to have it all until Marissa is unfaithful. Beneath their veneer of perfection is a relationship driven by work and a lack of intimacy. Marissa wants to repair things for the sake of their 8-year-old son, and because she loves her husband, enter Avery Chambers. Avery is a therapist who lost her professional license. Still, it doesn't stop her from counseling those in crisis, though they have to adhere to unorthodox methods, and the bishops are desperate. When they glide through Avery's doors and Marissa reveals her infidelity, all three are set on a collision course, because the biggest secrets in the room are still hidden, and it's no longer simply a marriage that's in danger. The Golden Couple, perfection is deceiving. Sounds very interesting. Then we have Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintora. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And it says, what if you thought you murdered your best friend? And if everyone else thought so too? And what if the truth doesn't matter? Lucy and Savvy were the golden girls of their small Texas town. Pretty, smart, enviable. Lucy married a dream guy with a big ring and an even bigger new home. Savvy was the social butterfly loved by all, and if you believe the rumors, especially popular with the men in town. But after Lucy is found wandering the streets covered in her best friend Savvy's blood, everyone thinks she's the murderer. It's been years since a horrible night, a night Lucy can't remember anything about, and she has since moved to LA and started a new life. But now, the phenomenally huge hit true crime podcast, Listen for the Lie, and its two good-looking hosts, Ben Owens, have decided to investigate Savvy's murder for the show's second season. Lucy is forced to return to the place she vowed never to set foot again to solve her friend's murder. Even if she's the one who did it, the truth is out there if we just listen. And it sounds so good. Like, it sounds like, let's get into it. So y'all, this is all the books that I have shown y'all in my haul. I think it's over like 60 books, and honestly it was so good like getting these books, and some of them, even though I've read them, I can't wait to read them again, especially like my Akata series and all that, and like the Abia Manis books. Like, I love them. I can't wait to get more books. I can't wait to show you guys more books. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know if any of them jump out to you, or leave your recommendations down below so that you can tell me more. Give me some book recommendations so that I can know which books that I should pick up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.